I'm Joe Markley, State Senator for Southington, not at the Capitol today, but on my own front porch, where I sometimes make videos which have to do with more political topics. And that's what I want to talk about today, not state politics, but the town election that's coming up on Tuesday. I'm very careful about getting involved in local issues. I firmly believe that local government should run itself and that the state should stay out of the way. And frankly, I have more confidence in the people I deal with locally, and Mike Riccio and the town council members and Gary Brumback, our town manager, than I do in Governor Malloy or even in the legislature in which I serve, which I think has made many mistakes. Where I see government do best, not only in Southington but other towns I represent, is on the local level. But I am a citizen of this town like all of you, and I have concerns about the way forward for us. And that's what I want to address here today. Over the 6 years that Republicans have led the town council, I have been mightily impressed by their willingness to tackle big problems which had been left go for far too long. There's been times when I wondered if they hadn't bitten off more than they could chew. And yet, over and over again, they've shown that they had the vision and the planning and the oversight necessary to make big projects work, to carry them off effectively and carry them off at a cost that we could afford. I've been very proud of the job they've done, and I shouldn't be surprised because we've had great leadership, not just Mike Riccio, our current town council chairman, but before him Ed Pocock, and both of whom are on the council slate this fall, as well as Cheryl Lounsbury, a former council chair, Vicki Triano, who has been a leader in this town and someone who cares very, very deeply about our community, as well as Paul Champagne and Tom Lombardi, all veterans, all experienced, intelligent, responsible people who I think have done an excellent job in leading this town. They've run a good campaign, too. I've been proud of that. They've run on their record. I think it's been a good record, and I think that the voters will judge them on it and judge them favorably. I've been distressed by the campaign that's been run by the opposition. I feel like there's been a willingness to make any attack that there seemed to be any advantage in, whatever its merits. And in no aspect was this worse than the ordeal that Tom Lombardi was put through. Tom was charged with some kind of conflict of interest because a company that he works for is connected with a company that was doing business with the town. And Tom, in an excess of caution, went to our town attorney, the appropriate person to give advice on this, and somebody that I think is very widely respected in Southington, and asked if it was proper for him to vote on this issue. He was told that it was. He actually recused himself anyways, voluntarily, on the original decision to go ahead with this particular contract for solar panels. But as the work went forward, he participated in the decision-making process, as I think it was proper for him to do, and as he was told it was proper to do. And purely for political advantage, in my opinion, a charge of conflict was brought. There was no evidence that Tom had benefited in any way because of his vote. I don't think there was even an implication. I don't think the people bringing the charge even believed that Tom actually had done anything wrong. They just saw the possibility of making political hay about it. And I know it made some people in the Democratic Party uncomfortable themselves. That charge was taken up by the Ethics Commission. It was overturned, and I think properly, by the town council. But in the meantime, Tom has very unfairly gone through a period of very public criticism. I've known Tom since he first ran for office a few years back. I knocked on doors with him. I was immediately impressed with him, with his intelligence, his maturity, his character, his dedication to our town. And I can say honestly, I thought as I get on in years, I'm going to be out of this scene someday, and it makes me feel good to know that a young man like Tom Lombardi is willing to take up the responsibility of public service and to be a leader in our town, and I hope maybe someday in our state. And I think it's very unfortunate when a good person like this comes forward that they suffer this kind of political nonsense. It's just the kind of thing that keeps people out of public service. I don't like to make predictions, but I'll make this one, that when the people who brought these unfounded charges are embarrassed and forgotten, I'm convinced Tom Lombardi is going to be an esteemed leader in the town of Southington for many, many years to come. And I'm convinced that the voters of Southington on Tuesday will affirm their faith and my faith in this fine young man by supporting Tom. The entire Republican slate is a group that you can be proud of. I know them all well. I wouldn't be saying it if I didn't believe it. I hope that you'll join me in supporting the Republican slate this Tuesday. Thanks very much.